In today's video, I'm painting a office space with a water-based polyurethane paint. Now, the reason I'm using water-based paint in an office is because I've got limited time to get the floor done. I've literally got a weekend, and I can't work with a product that's going to give off a lot of solvent smell, which is going to take long to air out the office. So a water-based polyurethane paint is ideal when you need to get a project done, but you need the toughness of an epoxy or any other twin pack coating. So I like this product, this water-based polyurethane paint, which is ideal for commercial and retail floors, such as offices, cafes, restaurants, boutiques, um, and light-duty industrial floors. Rubber mats were put down after the floor was painted, especially in areas where chairs are moved up and down, and it has kind of helped. But this floor hasn't been painted in many a year, and as you can see, many of the previous coatings are already showing through. So what do I need to get this floor successfully painted and get that perfect finish? I need good quality preparational and application tools, such as the ones we see in front of us. So we need to get the floor sanded always. Because the floor was painted before, we need to abrade it so that the new coating keys to the old, and we use a good coarse 60 grit sandpaper to achieve that. A scraper for any loose paint, then mask off all the areas you don't want to paint with some decent masking tape, and I'm using Hamilton's blue masking tape. It's the premium of all masking tapes. And then a nice wide paintbrush for all the cutting in. That's a utility 125 always, gives me a nice wide line to cut with, and then applying the product to a smooth floor. So I'm using Hamilton's polypile roller, which is a quality roller for smooth surfaces such as walls and even floors. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have to prepare this floor first. And what do we have to do? That's sanding. Yes, hands and knees, scratching the floor with a 60 grit sandpaper to make sure that we get good adhesion between what we're putting on and what is on the floor. So, yeah, preparation, as we know, is the key to success. Using a safe cleaning solution, we need to clean the floor, obviously, after sanding. And I always recommend sugar soap. A good clean, and then obviously we need to remove the soapy residue afterwards, so a rinse with clean water afterwards, and then we got to let that floor dry. Important, the floor should be nice and dry before we start painting. And remember, please stir your product well before use. The polypile roller is ideal for smooth to medium surfaces using water-based sheen or matte paints. So what am I using here? I'm using a water-based polyurethane floor paint, and I'm using it on a smooth substrate. So it's ideal for applying a water-based floor paint to a floor. And let's not forget, it's thermo-bonded to the core, so there's no chance of this roller breaking down on you. So we can apply 2 coats of this floor paint in a day, which is awesome. And there's no smell, no solvents, which is a blessing. So apply your first coat nice and thinly on your floor, leave for 4 hours, and you can return to apply your second coat. Once you've applied the 2 coats, I'd say light foot traffic the next day. And for the first week, be careful on that floor, because every day the floor is curing and hardening. So there's huge improvements on the horizon. So we're just going to finish off this first coat before we return for the second. Something I always forget, Hamilton extension poles. You can't paint a floor without having a Hamilton extension pole. They come in a blue and a green. The blue stretches to 2.5 meters, the green one 3 meters, but you don't need to extend the poles because your roller pops straight on. It's sturdy, and that's the way to go. Don't go and put this roll on a broom handle and masking tape. It's going to come off eventually. No. So let's get the second coat done. Okay, so we repeat what we did the day before, doing all the cutting in and then rolling a second and final thin coat. And let's take a look at it before I started and after applying 2 coats. A world of difference. So let's recap on this and go through what we used. So sanding, important with Hamilton sandpaper, 60 grit minimum. Polypile roller for applying the floor paints. A scraper there just to scrape if you got any loose paint. That utility brush is a must to cut a wide line, and that goes in combination with the masking tape where you don't want to paint on. And with all those tools, you're definitely going to get, yes, you guessed it, the perfect finish. Thank you from me, Bernie B. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. We'd appreciate it.